All right, who's ready for game number 2?
Me, I am. I am ready for game number 2.
Is the beer garden ready for game number 2? There we go. That's all that matters. Is the rest of the non-beer garden audience ready for game number 2? All right, how about the Rose City Wreckers? Are you guys ready for game number 2? No, we're having a conversation. They're maybe going to yell? You guys are you guys have the yell down. Thank you, Crash. All right, let's meet our visiting team who have driven all the way up I-5 through God knows what kind of horrible traffic to be here. Our friends from the south, the Rose City Wreckers. Number 11, Dr. Spanky and Grind. Number 12, Dropkick Daisy. 127, a Daredevil. Number 20, Petite Carnage. 208, Megan Me Angry. Number 235, Heisenbrod. Number 37, Uni. Number 42, Queen Slayer. Number 50, Bratmobile. 515, Alley Cat. Number 67, Gay. Number 74, Alpacan Heat. 785, JB. Number 82, Ultraviolet. Number 86, Sunny. And their alternate number 815, Tiny Danger. Once more, let's hear it for the Rose City Wreckers. Rose City coached by Maytag, Velveeta, and Bellyflop.
And now taking the track, blessed in blue and black, are the Jet City Aviators. Number 1 is See Ya Wouldn't Wanna Be Ya. Number 126 is Charlie Horsepower. Number 309 is Thompson. Number 182 is Harriet Thugman. Number 29 is Hut Majesty. Number 3.14 is Bacon for Mercy. Number 4 is Surly Tipper. Number 41 is Punk Martha Stewart. Number 60 is Allie. Number 64 is Bliss Banshee. Number 700 is Toe Jammer. Number 71 is V Lucy Raptor. Number 77 is Gen X. Number 87 is Vixen Stones. And number 89 is Hurricane Miami. The Jet City Aviators tonight are coached by Bombshell, MF Chaz, and Kieran. Friends and fans of the Derby stands, give it up for the Aviators! Woohoo!
Beer Garden, here's your early warning. Last call will be at halftime of this game. Also at halftime of this game will be the drawing for our 50-50 raffle. So as you see the raffle tickets walk through, right over there, just passing. Oh no, that's sorry. Saw somebody else in the bag. I'm like, oh, they must be selling tickets.
Up there.
It's up there in the beer garden. I'm like, I saw it crash a second ago.
Crash Smash 'em. It's Alienator. It's $200 and some for the winner at this juncture. That is more than enough to cover your bar tab and your favorite skaters at the Bulldog Saloon in our after party tonight.
So true.
That is a Daredevil, number 127 on the jammer line. First up for Rose City, next to Vixen Stones. ATG and Wizard of Laws are also having a chat about what's going on at the Bulldog Saloon after this. We got to make sure that our scoreboard is accurate, correct, and complete.
Yes, you wouldn't want the score to be wrong at the start of the game.
Software, friends. Can't live with it, can't live without it. I'm going to take this opportunity while the beer garden is still open to remind you that Soundbite Cider loves cider. They figured, why not share that love with the world? Their apples are born and raised right here in the Pacific Northwest. Each of their core ciders has a different yeast strain. Every one is a uniquely different flavor. They use nothing but natural ingredients in their naturally gluten-free ciders. Stop by the Get Your Bearings Skate Shop Beer Garden to grab a Soundbite cider today, or their production space and tasting room up in Everett, Washington. We love a delicious cider here at Jet City, and we love our Jet City sponsor, Soundbite Cider.
Give anybody timeouts. All right. No timeouts, no official cues, whole game.
I love eyes on me. It's not like they're on me already.
Also going to take this opportunity to thank our concession stand sponsor, All Ply Roofing. They offer residential and commercial roofing services to clients in and around Snohomish County. It's a family-owned and operated business that has replaced, repaired, and maintained roofs from Bellingham to Tacoma, from North Bend to Bremerton. Check them out at allplyroofing.com and see how they can create a roof to fit your needs. And check out the All Ply Roofing concession stand. I just saw a big batch of popcorn run back there. So if you want fresh hot popcorn, now's the time.
All right. Now that Rose City shows that they will have timeouts in this game, we are good to go. A Daredevil, Vixen Stones, empty penalty box, skating madness, and we are underway for our second game of the night. And Vixen Stones kicks things off, lead jammer for your Jet City Aviators. A Daredevil clears. First penalty of the game going to Alley. And Vixen Stones calls off the jam. 2 points on the board for the Aviators.
I would be remiss if I failed to mention Vixen Stones is a new skater coach for the Mob City Goons. So if you've got a kid in your life that is considering checking out roller derby, check out mobcitymisfits.com. You can learn to skate from some of roller derby's finest. And if you're a grown-up wanting to learn roller derby, check out the new Jet City pilot program. All details online at jetcityrollerderby.com. And right now, check out Dr. Spanky and Grind and V. Lucy Raptor.
And Spanky out first, lead jammer, Rose City Wreckers. Penalty also being called, sending number 37, Uni, to the Motherfogger IPA penalty box. Alley breaks free. Oh, and a penalty called on Spanky. So power jam and a 2-minute jam for V. Lucy Raptor. I mean, 2-minute jam for everybody, but power jam Jet City.
But V. Lucy Raptor has handed that shiny star cover off to Toe Jammer, who you may recognize from the previous hour of roller derby.
As seen in game 1, Toe Jammer knows how to jam.
She is doing so with aplomb over there in turn 1 and turn 2. She is through with 4 points on the board for Jet City.
Dr. Spanky and Grind out of the box. This Toe Jammer forced out of bounds. Spanky forced to the infield. And now also bumped out on the outside. Roll back by Ally. Toe Jammer through for a second pass. Spanky also completes, picks up 4.
Spanky forced to the outside, but not all the way over the line. Jukes to the in. Pushed out this time by Allie with an assist from V. Lucy Raptor.
Almost able to make that toe up the inside lane. Dr. Spanky and Grind picks up 4 points, 3 for the Aviators.
And up to the jammer line comes Hurricane Miami. Squaring off now against Tiny Danger. Jet City with a 1 blocker advantage in the pack, but not for long.
Tiny Danger running in the shadow of Hurricane Miami and forced out of bounds by Thompson. And Hurricane Miami clear for lead jammer. Tiny Danger out the front. Hurricane Miami calls off the jam. 2 points up for the Aviators. Takes us to 15-8. Aviators with a 7-point lead, 25:40 to go.
I spy Harriet Thugman with a star on her helmet.
And 515 Alley Cat out to jam for the Wreckers.
Big offense by Hurt Majesty, breaking up a 2-wall there at the back. Great waterfall effort there by Rose City, once again capturing Harriet Thugman even after that hole had been made. Meanwhile, Alley Cat versus the last line of defense in the person of Toe Jammer.
And Toe Jammer picking up a forearm penalty. Alley Cat lead jammer. Harriet Thugman clears.
Alley Cat through with 4, calls the jam. We got a pair of pivots hanging out with our non-skating officials in the Motherfogger IPA penalty box. And we've got Vixen Stones with a star on her helmet once again.
And that will be a Daredevil.
It is a Daredevil.
They are out to jam, 3-on-3 in the pack. 1-on-1 behind the jammer line.
A Daredevil out and around, through with lead jammer status. Vixen Stone still caught up with a 3-wall in the back. Meanwhile, a Daredevil forced to the inside, but they don't have to recycle far.
Vixen Stones 1 to beat. Trying to get past Eisenbrod. Oh, an illegal contact called. Sends Vixen Stones to the Motherfogger IPA penalty box. Power Jam Wreckers.
A Daredevil with 4 points in the sky and the track all to herself. Forced to the inside by Sia, wouldn't want to be ya. Run back just a bit, then forced to the outs. Sia want to be ya once again.
And a Daredevil calls off the jam.
A Daredevil with 1 point before calling. Vixen Stones is going to start this jam from the penalty box. Less than 10 seconds remaining on that time served.
And we have another lead change. Wreckers now ahead 17-15.
And here comes Spanky.
Dr. Spank and Grind to you.
PhD.
Yes. A doctorate in jumping past legs and getting lead jammer. Clears the pack just as Vixen Stones was coming out of the penalty box.
Vixen Stones has completed her initial pass. Going to replace that jammer cover.
These things are tricky.
Meanwhile, Spanky sneaks around Thompson just there on the inside at the apex for more points for Rose City Wreckers.
And now a 6-point game, 21-15 with 22 minutes to go in the first period.
As Hurricane Miami returns to the jammer line, as does Tiny Danger. Tiny Danger looking for a lane on the outside, doesn't find it, to the in, and squeaks by with lead jammer status.
Just dodging past. See, you wouldn't want to be a.
Heisenbrod gonna get sent to the motherfucker IPA penalty box for a forearm penalty.
Tiny Danger forced out of bounds, saw Toe Jammer's foot go out, realized no run back was needed, and hops back in to pick up the first 4 points.
Sometimes you gotta jam smarter, not harder.
Yes. Hurricane
Miami dealing with the last line of defense that was making me angry.
Tiny Danger calls off the jam. 3 more points up, a 7-point jam. Takes us to 28-15.
I spy the Lucy Raptor on the jammer line where the star for Jet City. Squaring off now against Alley Cat.
Four-on-3 advantage for Jet City in the pack. As Heisenbrod standing in the penalty box for the Rose City Wreckers.
Thompson managing to force Alley Cat out.
Alley Cat rolls back behind Alley and Thompson.
Thompson with a big second effort. Alley Cat manages to stay inbounds, emerges from the pack with lead jammer status.
That is 5 straight lead jammers for the Rose City Wreckers. And a star pass off to Thompson. And a quick 4 points and a call of the jam for Alley Cat. And Rose City now 17 points ahead, 32-15 with 19 and a half to go.
That is a Daredevil, that is Harriet Thugman, and that is 5-on-5 roller derby.
A Daredevil on the outside edge, Harriet Thugman. Going, yep, that was me with the back block, thank you.
A Daredevil is out, they have lead jammer status.
It's always good when the skater knows the penalty has happened, like, nope, I'm out.
Understood.
Yes. No need to point. I'm leaving. The Daredevil bump to the outside. Has to roll back as Jet City moves to penalty kill mode. Wreckers trying to break things up, but now slowing to the back.
Toe Jammer and Surly Temple up front. Looking to kill this penalty. Surly Temple manages to get a Daredevil out.
Harriet Thugman back in and clears as a direction of play penalty. Sends Ultraviolet to the box for the Wreckers.
Jam is called, 4 more points for the Rose City Wreckers. And here comes Allie. First jam of the night. Squaring off against Dr. Spanky and Grind, MD PhD. Everybody juke side, 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 then the whistle blows.
Allie dodges through. Caught by JB, but is lead jammer.
Allie just managed to step back in behind the blocker as she was running her back. Meanwhile, Spanky has also completed an initial pass. She is through, ready to come around and put some points up.
Alley clears, picks up the 4. Dr. Spanking Grind also out of the pack with 4. And Alley dodges around the outside, calls off the jam, 3 points up.
Brings our score to 22-40 in favor of the visiting team. Little over the 16 and a half minutes left in the half. That is 16 minutes to get one more beer, one more cider, one more seltzer over here in the Get Your Bearings Skate Shop Beer Garden. And 16 minutes to get your 50-50 raffle tickets before we draw a winner of over $200.
Tiny Danger jamming against Vixen Stones. Tiny Danger forced out of bounds. Vixen Stones forced to the penalty box for a back block.
I would say more compelled than forced.
Yeah, I guess, yes.
She is, in fact, going to go have a seat. Meanwhile, Tiny Danger's tangled up with Toe Jammer there at the edge of the engagement zone. Jet City blockers looking to string that pack out. And they managed to draw a forearm penalty on Tiny Danger.
First Jammer swap out of the game. Or the night. I don't think we had any in the first
didn't have any in the first game either.
Jammer penalties for those who are new to roller derby. When one jammer is sitting and the other one gets a penalty, the first jammer is released as soon as the second jammer sits, and the second jammer will sit the length of time that the first did, which was not a lot.
Although Vixen Stones is now going to return to the motherfucker IPA penalty box, this time on the receiving end of a forearm penalty. Y'all haven't figured it out yet. You're not allowed to use that part of your body when you play roller derby.
Yes, no levering people out of the way. Tiny Danger had been lead, but not now. Does have 4 points. And we will tick down the remaining 40 seconds of this jam. Tiny Danger bumps from the inside to the out. 8 total now as Vixen Stones out of the box and back into play.
Tiny Danger bumped to the outside by Toe Jammer, who also went out of bounds and therefore became null. You can pass a null skater without any trouble befalling you. Toe Jammer, meanwhile, has been on the receiving end of a star pass.
And Tiny Danger one more time through a 16-point jam, largest of the game. That takes the Rose City records to 56.
We are going to have a team timeout. Team timeouts are exactly 1 minute long. 1 minute is just long enough for you, my friends, to head to the All-Ply Roofing concession stand and pick yourself up a Mighty O donut.
Oh, so
Mighty
good.
O has been producing organic, vegan, and delicious donuts right here in the Seattle area for over 20 years. Mighty O's menu features over 30 types of donuts. We have a dozen different varieties here at the All-Ply Roofing concession stand. You don't even have to go to a Mighty O Donuts location. You just got to go right back there and visit. I think I see Afro Jammer Eye back there. Some of your favorite skaters are gatekeeping donuts, and I encourage you to go and relieve them of a few. Mighty O Donuts, Jet City sponsor, and delicious distraction during a timeout.
Timeout comes to a close. Hurricane Miami out to jam against Alley Cat. Both teams full strength, 4-on-4 in the pack, 5-on-5 on the track. Alley Cat kind of prowling behind the jammer line there for a second.
Alley Cat forced to the inside by Sia. Wouldn't want to be a run all the way back to the edge of the engagement zone. That gives Hurricane Miami just enough time and space to get through with lead jammer status.
Alley Cat also free and giving chase, and Hurricane Miami calls off the jam. A 0-0 run, still 22-56, Wreckers in the lead. 13:45 to go in our game. Harriet Thugman now on the jammer line for Jet City, a daredevil with the star for the Rose City Wreckers.
Daredevil dealing with a tight 2-wall up at the front. Meanwhile, Harriet Thugman dealing with an illegal multiplayer block there at the back. A Daredevil forced to the outside by Toe Jammer. They are forced to recycle. It gives Harriet Thugman lead jammer status.
Star pass off to 42 Queenslayer, I believe, for the Wreckers.
Harriet Thugman with 2 points.
Official timeout called.
Is it official timeout? I want you to take a look at your official Jet City programs you picked up on the way in and know that those were printed by our printing sponsor, Girly Press. This is a proud woman-owned full-service commercial print shop. They can be found in the heart of East Capitol Hill. They're your home for offset, letterpress, digital, basically anything that involves putting ink or toner on paper. Girly Press is your go-to. You can go check them out online, get a rundown of their products and services, see what they can do to meet your printing needs. We love them here at Jet City. Jet City sponsor, Girly Press.
Dr. Spanky and Grind set to jam for the Rose City Wreckers against Allie. Yeah, you can get the wave going.
We're doing the wave.
You got to decide which direction we're going, though.
I think that was 785 JB out there getting the crowd into it. Oh, and now we're flossing on the jam line.
Yes.
I never did learn how to do that. I think I'm too old.
Pretty certain this entire official timeout was for ATG to get the refs together to figure out how they're going to box you out at the after party of the touch tunes. I think it's a concerted effort, Heidi.
Yeah, see, what they don't know is that I have my phone during the bout.
Oh, that is an excellent point. They don't have phones as referees.
They don't. There's a whole conversation going on right now.
There is a whole conversation.
It's a whole
going on.
conversation.
Oh, we're going to get updated.
Up.
Oh, we're ready for this one. So I was calling away for 2 on the multiplayer 3 times. She took a star pass and never left the track. So she is something in the box as the jammer. But the penalty is actually being assessed to the previous jammer for passing the star to someone who is not.
All right.
But the penalty is going to be starting the previous box, starting in the box after the game.
Okay, we have had some interesting roller derby rules come into play now, and I'm going to explain them to you.
Fortunately, former referee can explain it to us.
PH Demon called the Rose City pivot on a multiplayer block penalty during the previous jam. The pivot didn't hear the call and therefore received a star pass instead of leaving the track to report to the penalty box. Therefore, it is a jammer penalty for an illegal star pass as well as the multiplayer block penalty. The Rose City Jammer, in the person of the pivot from the previous jam who had received the star pass, will be starting this jam in the box.
I hope you got all that. There will be a quiz at the after party. After party just down the road at the Bulldog Saloon. 21 and over location, pool table, darts, touch tunes. Party theme is apparently onesies, according to the directory.
I meant to bring my Princess Leia onesie, and I left it at home, so
I had a
I'm just
T-Mobile onesie, but I gave it to my child.
I'm going to remain in my reputation era for the after party. And Allie is going to remain on the track as the power starting Soul Jammer. Jet City also with a 4-3 advantage in the pack. Exactly the kind of situation Jet City's going to need to capitalize on if they want to cut into this point differential.
Indeed. Allie forced out of bounds. Rolls back. Thompson giving an escort on the outside, conveniently behind all of this official pile up. Allie looking left and right, still held up as Queenslayer with the star out of the pack.
Meanwhile, Bliss Banshee called for a blocker penalty.
Thompson forces Queenslayer out and rolls way back behind the pack. Thompson accepts the star.
Leaps over the apex. I do love it when they choose to fly.
Yes. Thompson through on the inside for 4.
We are back. Both jammers in the pack. 2 Rose City blockers currently sitting in the penalty box.
Oh, Thompson!
Thank you for doing that right in front of me. I had an amazing view of that.
That was a thing of beauty.
At which, I mean, so did this camera.
Queenslayer finally grabs lead jammer, calls it off.
Thompson through with 3 more points. Brings our score to 28-56. Rose City still ahead. And Vixen Stones and Tiny Danger are back on the jammer line once again. Jet City with a 1 blocker advantage in the pack at the top of this jam. Vixen Stones looking for a friendly lane, not finding it. Meanwhile, Tiny Danger running headlong into Punk Martha Stewart, going down but not out.
Tiny Danger is the tiny lead jammer. As Vixen Stones also clearing the pack. Tiny Danger dodging from the inside to the outside. Jam called off, but Tiny Danger picking up a cut track right at the end.
Hurricane My Amy rolling up to the jammer line with a power start.
Two points on the board for the Tiny Danger. Takes the records to 58. And another timeout called.
While we are at a team timeout, I'm going to tell you about one more Jet City sponsor. I think this is so clever.
Yes.
Small Law, S-M-O-L, Small Law. They're a unique law practice specializing in what can best be described as legal primary care. Traditionally, hiring an attorney is hard, scary, expensive. With Small Law, they make it not like that. If you're a Small Law client, you can literally tell someone, I need to consult my attorney, and not be telling a fib. Small Law can give you advice. They can help you plan and empower you to go back to your own business quickly with high-quality legal advice. Check them out at smalllaw.com. That is small-law.com to learn more. We are so thrilled to welcome Small Law as a Jet City sponsor. Everything but the next bout.
Yeah, exactly. I got the next bout after party.
Okay.
Hurricane Miami on the power start. 4-on-4 in the pack, and Amy is out. Lead jammer, Jet City Aviators. Offense coming forward as Thompson Brooks into the pack. 4 points up, Hurricane Miami. Tiny Danger released from the penalty box and back in play. Tiny Danger staying inbounds by means of grabbing someone's shirt. Totally legal if it's your teammate. Hurricane Miami 3 more points now, 42-58.
Getting closer. 8.5 minutes left in the half. 8.5 minutes till last call, Beer Garden. What are you going to do about it?
8.5 minutes to buy your 50-50 raffle tickets.
Alienators and Crash Mashup are all the way up at the top of the stands. Flag them down and grab your tickets.
Alley jamming against the Daredevil. Alley bumping left to right.
The Daredevil knocked to the outside by number 126, Charlie Horsepower. Meanwhile, Alley knocked down but not out, has lead jammer status and is now away from the pack.
A Daredevil on the outside, running away from Toe Jammer and clears the pack. Alley taps the hips, 2 points up. Now a 14-point game, 58-44.
Here comes Harriet Thugman and Dr. Spanky. Yeah.
Both teams full strength. Spanky
Harriet
to the
Thugman with a
outside.
run up the inside. Lead jammer Jet City.
And Dr. Spank and Grind clear. Completes the initial Harriet Thugman.
Harriet
Balls off the
Thugman
jam.
with all 4 points. Gets recycled, calls the jam. We have ourselves a 10-point game, friends.
6.5 to go in the first period. Rose City Records 58, Aviators 44.
And
Tiny
here
Danger.
comes Tiny Danger. And Vixen Stones.
All of a sudden we're angry at them. Tiny Danger, what are you doing over there?
Vixen Stones through with lead jammer
Sneaky.
status. Tiny Danger tangled up once again with Toe Jammer. Now Charlie Horsepower running her down.
Nice work by Toe in that first pass, just a slide in front. Ease Tiny Danger out. Vixen Stones calls off the jam.
0-0 in that jam. Alley Cat is returning to the jammer line for Rose City next to Hurricane Miami.
Pack starting near the pivot line. Alley Cat bumped in the middle, and Hurricane Miami lead jammer Jet City Aviators.
Jet City with a huge waterfall, looking to bump Alley Cat out on the outside. Thompson does not quite manage to get her over the line. Meanwhile, Hurricane Miami is through. 4 points in the sky for Jet City.
Thompson so sure they had that out of bounds, and just the toes staying in bounds the whole way. Excellent line management by Alley Cat.
That is a Daredevil once again with a star on their helmet for Rose City, and that is Alley. Not to be confused with Alley Cat.
No, totally different Alley. Once again, 4-on-4 in the pack. A Daredevil up the middle breaks a streak of 5 straight lead jammers for the Jet City Aviators. Alley now star in hand at the back. A Daredevil pushes the pack too far forward. Picks up the 4 points.
I see from the referees the star has been passed. That is Toe Jammer. Jammer of record for Jet City. And a Daredevil is going to go have a seat for a back block penalty.
Power jam, Toe Jammer.
Toe Jammer through on one skate, gets knocked down but not out. She is through with 4 points.
I like Toe just like slowing to a stop, like you need to go back now because I'm too far ahead. Why put in the extra effort? Toe Jammer hops the leg.
A hop, a skip, and a jump over the apex puts 4 more points in the sky for Toe Jammer.
2-point game as a Daredevil out of the penalty box and back. This jam going to its natural conclusion in 35 seconds.
A Daredevil managing to hang on, also not getting pushed all the way over the line. A Daredevil with 4 points of her own. Toe Jammer 4 points as well.
Remains a 2-point game. As the packs now mingling and both playing a little more offense than defense here. Toe Jammer forced out of bounds. Jam comes to a close.
Toe Jammer had 2 more points there. A Daredevil had 4 more, 66-70, a little over 2 minutes left in the half.
Harriet Thugman and Dr. Spank and Grind. At the jammer line, pack again, lining up on the pivot line. Harriet Thugman trying to get through. Not much give in that pack by the Rose City Wreckers. Spanky forced out of
Thugman lead Jammer Jet City.
Dr. Spank and Grind on the outside, thinks about passing. No! Clears the pack. Pops the star back on the hat. And Harriet Thugman calls off the jam.
All 4 points for Harriet Thugman.
And
we have a tie!
We are tied with a minute to go in the half.
This is exciting!
Timeout called, or official review called rather, by the Rose City Wreckers. Using it as a timeout.
They're just using their official review as a timeout. So I ran out here just so you could look at my sparkly outfit.
Coming up at halftime, we will have our airplane toss. So all you budding aeronautical engineers, it's free for fun, or if you pay $1, you get a chance at winning 2 free tickets to our next bout. When is that bout, you ask? Why, it'll be April 27th.
It's April 27th.
Action-packed doubleheader, Jet City Skyraiders taking on the Bellingham All-Stars, and the Jet City Aviators will take on NWO Roller Derby. So get it on your calendar now. That's like, see, we went east and south this month. Next month, they're all coming down from the north.
You know who already knew when the next bout was, though? Our Jet City season pass holder.
Oh, my God, yes, they did.
Season tickets for the rest of this season are still available. They are prorated. And never, ever miss a moment of the action. You, too, could be a Jet City season pass holder.
All right, 59 seconds on the period clock. 2 minutes on the jam clock. Tiny danger.
Hurricane Miami.
4 blockers a team, and tiny danger lead jammer.
Toe Jammer, last line of defense up front.
Oh, forearm called.
Hurricane Miami with a power jam. Now, please remember that Tiny Danger very well may have had points in the bank when she went to have a seat. We will not know what those were until she emerges from the penalty box or the jam is over. Tiny Danger had lead jammer status, which means this jam will go to its natural 2-minute conclusion, which will put us at halftime.
Hurricane Miami just edged out of bounds. 1 minute on the jam clock. Tiny Danger back in play.
Period clock has expired. We are on jam time only.
And Tiny Danger gets the 4. After completing that scoring pass, Hurricane Miami working on the initial. Initial scoring pass, that is.
Tiny Danger through with 4 more.
Hurricane Miami playing a little bit of defense attempt. Tiny Danger takes the shoulder from Toe Jammer, bumps to the outside. Bliss Banshee holding Tiny Danger with the hip to the outside. And then again, I didn't predict that. That was like twice. Honest. All right, who's ready for more roller derby? 30 more minutes tonight.
It appears that Red Miles is ready.
Red is ready.
I think Adam Smasher
totally
is ready. Wizard of Laws looks ready. ATG is trying to make sure everybody is ready because ATG is one of those people that understands if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. And ATG stays ready.
I think ATG wears the shirt and the helmet just regular life.
It's true. I've seen him at the gym like that. That is Vixen Stones, and that is a Daredevil. And this is the second half of this game.
The Daredevil on one leg, lead jammer, Rose City Wreckers. Wreckers leading 82-78. Coming out of the half. Vixen Stones finally clears. A Daredevil, one-on-one with Thompson at the front.
Thompson, being a super strong last line of defense, manages to force a Daredevil out, and they knew better than to keep up with that. She called that jam off. Gonna start over. With Spanky! Pull it up to the jammer line next to Hurricane Miami.
Bliss Banshee sitting in the penalty box, the Mother Fogger IPA penalty box.
Sponsored by Salish Brewing. Ooh. That is Dr. Spanky herself with lead jammer status.
Dr. Spank and Grind DDS. Bumped off of Toe Jammer and out of bounds as Bliss Banshee returns to play. Spanky cutting through. Oh, just dragged to the infield. And finally breaks clear with 4 points. Hurricane Miami passes the star off. Toe Jammer now, the jammer of record for Jet City.
Toe Jammer once again receiving that star pass. Toe Jammer forced to the out. Gonna recycle part way back.
And Spanky calls off the jam. Toe did pick up all 4 points.
Penalty called at the end of that jam. ATG having a chat. Tiny Danger back on the jam line for Rose City Wreckers. Allie jamming for Jet City. 4-2 pack advantage in favor of the team in blue.
Allie starting off on defense, but holy cow! Tiny Danger super fast through the pack.
Quick feet, much juke, lead jammer.
Oh, another forearm for Tiny Danger.
Allie now on a power jam. Not lead jammer. We will go the full 2 minutes. Allie out there all by herself as the Jet City pivot is Thompson, currently sitting in the penalty box. 4 points in the sky for Jet City.
4-on-3 advantage for the Wreckers in the pack. Aviators waiting the return of Thompson. Direction of play sending Sia Wouldn't Want to Be It to the penalty box. Tiny Danger accelerates up the outside to grab 4 points.
Thompson going to return to the penalty box. Tiny Danger with a big hit there at the back of the pack, coming through with 4 more points.
And another 4 for Tiny Danger, 12 total on the jam. And a 4th run through. Tiny Danger forced out by Sia Wouldn't Want to Be Ya. Dodging around. And finally calls off the jam, or jam comes to a close.
Tiny Danger had lead. Tiny Danger went to the box. It was
right.
only
There was no
on
time.
Wizard of Laws to call
This
that
is
jam,
why-
which he did with aplomb.
Yes, he did.
And here comes Alley Katz. And here comes Harriet Thugman. Penalty box stands empty at the moment.
20-point game. Make that a 23-point game. 113-90.
Alley Katz squeals through with lead jammer status.
JB off to the Motherfogger IPA penalty box. Someone's got to keep the penalty timers company, and they decided it was going to be them.
Harriet Thugman is through, having completed the initial pass, getting the star back on her helmet so she can score some points. Harriet Thugman racing through the pack, picking up 4.
Oh, Alley Cat. Jump in the corner, 4 points more. A 12-4 run for the Rose City Wreckers, now 125-94.
Once again, Hurricane Miami and a Daredevil are pulling up at the jammer line for their respective teams. A Daredevil bump to the outside is going to be run all the way back by Sia Wouldn't Want to Be Ya. Meanwhile, Thompson up front looking to break up that 3-wall. Help the jammer through. She does. Hurricane Miami is here with lead jammer status.
And everybody falls down in the pack. And a Daredevil heads to the penalty box with a forearm penalty. No pack called. Hurricane Miami up the inside for 4.
Punk Martha Stewart going to get sent to the penalty box. That is probably an administrative style penalty.
What, she didn't file the paperwork correctly?
Correct.
All right.
Something insider trading.
Missed an attachment to an email. Hurricane Miami looking to the outside, now to the middle. A Daredevil out of the penalty box, pushes past Thompson to complete the initial. And Hurricane Miami calls off the jam after grabbing 4 more. So that will take us to 102 to 125 with 22 minutes to go.
Vixen, Stones, and Alley Cat on the jam line.
Vixen Stones taking just 1 jam off. And back to business with lead jammer.
Punk Martha Stewart back on the track, approaching the pack just as Alley Cat comes through. Meanwhile, on the Jet City side, the Star has been passed.
Toe Jammer now able to play defense wherever.
Guess a little jammer on jammer bump there.
Alley Cat calls off the jam.
102 to 133, a little over 21 minutes left in this game.
Making me angry with the Star for the first time tonight for the Wreckers. Up against number 60, Alley.
Alley managing to hang on there on the inside line, doesn't let the toe stops go over. But Guns is through. However, one of the skaters that she passed was no pass, no penalty. Therefore, lead jammer was still available, and Alley has snagged it. Oof.
Making me angry. Breaks clear of the pack. Picked up 4 points.
Alley has 3 of her own. Harriet Thugman returns to the jammer line.
And they will square off with Dr. Spank and Grind. One skater in the Motherfucker IPA penalty box. It's number 42, Queen Slayer. Harriet Thugman driving up the middle.
Meanwhile, Spanky juking back and forth, pinballing from inside to outside, meeting a very dynamic Jet City defense.
Thugman to the outside, lead jammer, Jet City Aviators. Uni to the Motherfucker IPA penalty box, joined by Toe Jammer.
Harriet Thugman is through with 4 points.
Spanky finally sneaking on the inside. Completes the initial. Harriet Thugman caught up by a tripod. See, you wouldn't want to be it, providing some offense. Harriet Thugman calls off the jam. 4 points for each jammer on that pass. But 8 total for the Aviators, 113 to 137.
Once again, we see Hurricane Miami and a Daredevil rolling up the jammer line. Toe Jammer, Jet City pivot. The
timeout.
Timeout. If you haven't yet picked up any Jet City merch or visited our fabulous guest vendors today, gone to speak to our representatives from our partners at Lambert House, or taken one of those peep kebabs in hand to take home with you tonight, this is your 1 minute long opportunity to do that. Peep kebabs, y'all. They're marshmallow critters on a stick. You made them? Nayslayer made that. They're the cutest things. I highly recommend peep kebabs to everyone in attendance tonight. We also have Fruity Pebbles cereal treats. We have vegan cookies. We have all kinds of food-containing cookies. Chips, popcorn, Mighty O donuts.
Tiny and confused bird. All kinds of good stuff going on.
That bird is a problem for me. But the door is open, so maybe the bird will find its way out.
Maybe.
The cold air has found its way in, so.
Sure. There goes the whistle, and a Daredevil deposited out of bounds.
Run back to the edge of the engagement zone by Thompson, giving Hurricane Miami the cover she needs to come out with lead jammer status.
A Daredevil also clear, half a lap behind. Hurricane Miami approaching on the scoring pass, bumps out of bounds, calls off the jam.
3 points for Jet City. Small 3-0, 2-0, 4-0 runs were how Jet City managed to tie this game in the first half.
Vixen Stones jamming against Alley Cat. Penalty timers lonely at the moment.
Alley Cat just slamming and powering her way through the pack.
Yes. Driving through, Vixen Stones struggling at the front. Held up by JB and Gay, but able to get through. Not lead jammer. Alley Cat calls off the jam. Four points added to the records. They are now at 141. Aviators held to 116. 16 and a half minutes to go in our game.
Just a reminder that if you are an adult and a big Jet City fan and feeling helpful, we always love extra help taking this floor down at the end of the night.
Tiny Danger jamming against Alley. Oh, multiplayer block called on Tiny Danger.
Alley does have a power jam. Both teams are 4-on-4 in the pack. Pack speed picking up there.
Alley almost was on a good run, but tripped up. And that allows the Wreckers to regroup. Alley through. Stumble, bumble, rumble. 4 points.
Alley is through, still on her feet. 4 in the sky for Jet City.
Tiny Danger out of the penalty box, dancing the outside line, and also completes the initial pass.
Alley picks up 3 and calls it. 7-0 jam in favor of Jet City. 15 minutes left in the game.
18 points. 18 points. That's nothing.
Scott Chicken does math. I don't do math. Math is hard. Let's go shopping.
Once in a while. Oh, an official review called by the Rose City Wreckers. And while they're discussing that, I'm going to remind you again to join us right here, April 27th, for another action-packed doubleheader as your Jet City Skyraiders take on Bellingham's All-Stars. And the Aviators will play NWL Roller Derby. Get it on your calendar now. That is April 27th right here.
This is White's official review. They are contending that the multiplayer block, which their jammer was called on, did not have impact on gameplay, and that call should be overturned because if you do something and it doesn't affect the game, you haven't committed a penalty. So the referees are going to confer, and I will be back with you just as soon as we have a verdict. So, thing one, the multiplayer block is being overturned. However, the jammer did in that same action commit a block with their head. So the jammer will continue to sit. However, white retains their official review. So, let's play roller derby.
So now we'll get back to it with Harriet Thugman jamming against Dr. Spank and Grind. That's good. Forearm penalty called on See Ya Wouldn't Wanna Be Ya, and Elite Jammer awarded to Spanky. Star pass off, Harriet Thugman handed it off to Toe Jammer. And Dr. Spank and Grind out of the pack, calls off the jam.
Just in time to
Just
keep
in
Toe
time.
Jammer from putting up any points. That was close.
Yeah.
That's why we assign a specific referee to each
Right.
jammer. Because that was close.
That was super close. Toe was pouring on the
Real
gas.
close. That's a daredevil, and that's Hurricane Miami.
And
We
this is
are
14 minutes of
4
roller derby.
on 3 in favor of Rose City there in the pack.
That lets them break off Ultraviolet to be an offensive blocker for a bit. As a daredevil gets past Thompson, the lead jammer, Rose City Wreckers. Hurricane Miami forced out of bounds, rolls back almost to the jammer line. And a daredevil through for 4.
The daredevil once again tangled up with Thompson and Bacon there at the front of the pack. Recycled just a little bit.
Ooh, penalty called on Hurricane Miami. Back to the motherfucker IPA penalty box. So a daredevil with 8 points and the power jam. A daredevil caught at the front. See, you wouldn't want to be in Thompson. And see ya. The hips don't lie. Deposits a daredevil to the track. The daredevil calls off the jam. 3 more on that last pass. 11 total and 11-0 run. Now 156 to 123. Which I believe is 33 points. And a power start for Alley Cat.
Indeed we do. 4 on 4 in the pack. Alley Cat finds a lane on the inside, rolls right through it, has emerged with lead jammer status.
Alley Cat doing an excellent Richard Nixon impersonation on the way to the pack. As Hurricane Miami back in play, Alley Cat through for 4. Another star pass for Jet City. Toe Jammer, your jammer of record. Alley Cat through, taps the hips, calls off the jam.
On the back. Okay.
Official review this time called by the Aviators.
Jet City is asking for a penalty to be assessed against Rose City Jammer number 515 for having meaningful contact with a downed skater. They are alleging that when Alley Cat was coming around here, emerging from her initial pass, she made contact with a skater who had taken a knee or had been hit to a knee, and that, my friends, is illegal. So the referees are going to confer, and I will be back with you when there's a verdict. Upon review, it has been deemed that that contact was unintentional and unavoidable and did not have impact, and therefore the no call on the floor stands. You're going to get to stay right there with that star on your head. We'll get back to Derby in just a minute. I think we're just about ready
I think
to
so.
play the rest of this game.
We had the official review. We adjusted the scoreboard to capture the second scoring pass by Rose City. 123-164, 11 minutes and change to go. Vixen Stones jamming against Queenslayer. Queenslayer took a star pass in the first half, but first time was starting with the star.
In fact, Queenslayer pushed to the outside by Thompson. And now getting double teamed. Manages to get by. Jet City looking to waterfall, so you wouldn't want to be managing to push Queenslayer into the inside, but not run her back very far at all. Meanwhile, the penalty box has cleared. Her Majesty back on the track just in time for Thompson to have to report. Queenslayer, meanwhile, is your lead jammer.
Thompson was like, those guys are going to be lonely. I want to do something. And that something was a forearm. 4 points up for Queenslayer. As Vixen Stones still working on the initial pass. Caught up at the back of the pack.
Vixen Stones forced out by Guns.
Queenslayer through for 4. 2 passes complete.
Queenslayer coming in.
And Vixen Stones.
Vixen Stones was called to the penalty box after she had successfully but very stealthily passed the star over to Thompson.
Didn't sit down for a while because the question was, which seat am I going to?
Correct.
Am I sitting in the blue seat or the other seat?
Just the silver seat, just the regular silver seat. That bird is still in here. And yes, the penalty did happen right after the star pass. Meanwhile, Allie managing to run up the inside, gain lead jammer status for Jet City, while Dr. Spanky, PhD, has just now completed her initial pass as well. Toe Jammer also going to go have a seat.
2 skater advantage in the pack. Allie through, calls off the jam. Gets
4
all 4.
to 3 in favor of Jet City there in that jam. About 8.5 minutes left.
Spanky taking full advantage of the 2 blockers in the penalty box. Pass 1, get 3.
It's like a BOGO.
It is. Hurricane Miami set to jam against the Daredevil. And then right off the bat, a Daredevil going straight up the middle. Rose City
Running into Bacon, Charlie Horsepower, and Thompson.
While Hurricane Miami trapped at the back with the solid tripod defense of the Rose City Wreckers.
Dropkick Daisy, Heisenbrod, and who was that last skater?
It's making me angry.
Guns, that's
Kick.
who that is.
And a Daredevil finally clears to grab lead jammer here in Jam 17. 7.5 minutes to go in the game.
Hurricane Miami manages to stay inbound. She is through.
And a Daredevil grabs the points, calls it off.
Here comes Alley Cat once again with the jammer cover on her helmet. Standing next to Harriet Thugman.
It's a shoulder shimmy party behind the jammer line.
They're having a little chat. And now they're doing some other things. Alley Cat looking for a way up the inside. Stopped for a moment by Punk Martha Stewart, but she forces her way through to lead jammer.
Harriet Tugman caught in the middle. Reaches forward. Star pass is complete. As signaled.
Punk Martha Stewart with a jammer cover for the first time tonight.
Doesn't even get to score a point. Alley Cat ruining Punk Martha Stewart's fun.
But here comes Surly Temper, another new jammer for Jet City. They're going to be squaring off now against Tiny Danger, who has been a wildly successful jammer for Rose City tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Point total, not tiny.
Not at all tiny.
Not tiny.
No. I'm not going to do that math, though.
No.
That would require too many pencil strokes. Tiny Danger. Bouncing left and right, shouldered to the ground by Thompson and rolled back to the jammer line.
Surly Temper was knocked to the inside by Making Me Angry. Picks up, looks for a lane on the outside, doesn't quite get it. Meanwhile, Toe Jammer had sent Tiny Danger out and back. This time, Tiny Danger sent to the outside by Charlie Horsepower. Surly Temper has fought their way to lead jammer status.
Yes, they have. Solid work. Meanwhile, at the front on the defense, Charlie Horsepower teaming up with Toe Jammer and Thompson. Oh, late shoulder from Heisenbrod. Knocks Surly Temper out. And finally, Tiny Danger is able to clear the pack. Surly Temper calls off the jam.
4-2-0 in favor of Jet City. 131 to 186, 4.5 minutes to go.
Dr. Spank and Grab out to jam against Alley.
See, you wouldn't want to be gonna go have a seat for a minute, courtesy of her forearms.
Gotta love getting a penalty right as the whistle blows, or shortly thereafter. Oh, high block called on Spanky. So a power jam for Alley. Lead jammer still on the table. Pack very tight, and Alley able to get past Judd Booty.
Alley taking a whip off Thompson there. Little old school moment.
Alley bump to the inside, slides out of bounds, grabs two.
That jam was called just as Spanky was being released from the penalty box, so Rose City will be able to field a fresh jammer, and by fresh, I mean successful all night long tonight. Alley Cat once again jamming for Rose City. That is Vixen Stones once again wearing the star for our team in blue.
Alley Cat pushing towards the middle. Vixen Stones trying to follow through, but trips up and slides out of bounds. Alley Cat forced out.
Run back by Charlie Horsepower.
And Alley Cat again tripping down. Toe Jammer this time playing the back of the line.
Vixen Stones bump to the outside. Going to be forced to recycle.
Dropkick Daisy providing some offense to finally break Alley Cat free.
Star pass has happened on the Jet City side. Toe Jammer now wearing the star.
Alley Cat clears, calls off the jam. A 4-0 run, and we're down to 148 to go in the game. 190 to 133. Rose City Wreckers in the lead. A Daredevil set to jam for Rose City. Hurricane Miami for Jet City's Aviators. And a Daredevil clears the pack first, lead jammer.
Star pass has occurred. That is Thompson with the jammer cover, but not for long because the Daredevil was quite done with that. Less than a minute to go in this contest. 133-194 in favor of the Rose City Wreckers.
Just enough time for another Tiny Danger Harriet Thugman jam.
You are correct.
Brought to you by an empty Motherfucker IPA penalty box. And Harriet Thugman, lead jammer, Jet City Aviators. Tiny Danger forced out. Rolled back as Thugman hits the pack and the ground almost simultaneously. Harriet Thugman calls off the jam. Picked up one more point.
Team timeout has been called.
Team timeout with some small amount of time, I'm sure.
There
We will get
were
the
some
scoreboard
seconds. We will make the adjustment.
1 second will be on the clock. Bombshell, one eye on the track, one on the clock.
There was
Called that
1
perfectly.
second remaining on the game clock. Calling a timeout forces that to stop and forces one more jam. Let's give it up for all of these skaters.
Punk Martha Stewart with the star for the first time tonight. Jamming against Spanky.
A literal moment after this whistle blows, game time will have elapsed. This jam will go as long as it needs to. The jammer gets through, gets lead, and calls it immediately. That will be the end of the game. But we may have 2 whole minutes.
You never know.
You never know.
Quick and early double jammer penalty.
I invite all of you still in the stands to hang around, help us tear down the floor, help us put things away, and then meet us at the Bulldog Saloon to continue this enthusiasm.
Ooh, coaches are being called out. ATG can't let the game end without another conversation.
The suspense.
It's pretty suspenseful, really. Oh, more technicalities. Timeout called by someone who couldn't call a timeout.
That
Therefore, timeout does not
was
exist.
assessed an error.
And we all end without the
Because
last
you have
jam.
the A on our
Rose City
shirt.
Wreckers are your winners.
Friends and fans, I ask again that you
194
wait
to
for the
134.
officials
Let our
to
refs
clear
get out
the
of the way
track
first before you
come down
rush the
for your free
stage for your high
high
five.
And I need to get the MVP awards. What am I even doing?
You need to get these before then. All right, we'll let you
for real
line
this
up
time.
for a moment.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think we're ready for we got people out of the way. Let's hear it for, first off, your hometown, or your victors. Let's go with the Rose City Wreckers.
Rose City Wreckers!
Go, 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 Rose City! No, it's yes. I like the going backwards through the London Bridge. That's a good look. All right, keep your hands out for your home team. Came up short, but played fought well. Jet City Aviators.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for me to stand here and wonder how long they're going to make me wait to announce the MVPs. There were two separate meetings on the Rose City side, so that's exciting. We'll let them confer. Just a reminder, we will be right back here at the Edmonds College Seaview Gym on April 27th and once again on May 18th. Idle packs are the Devil's Playground. Jet City fans make the best signs, I'm telling you. I am ready whenever anybody else is. Oh, we're doing the thing where we got to look at everybody's numbers. Because unlike some of us, they were just playing roller derby and not reading people's numbers all night. Okay, we're ready? Toe Jammer is ready to tell me some information. Who is our most valuable blocker?
Number 20.
Number 20!
That would be Petite Carnage.
Number 20, you got to come here and get your trophy. And who is the? Oh wait, we gotta hug it out. And who is the most valuable jammer?
815.
Number 815.
That would be Tiny Danger.
Yeah, you got to stay here because you're gonna get your picture made in a minute. All right, but can somebody from? Oh, they brought plants.
Ooh, they brought
Y'all
plants.
are adorable. Okay, can you tell me who the most valuable blocker was?
126.
Number 126. Charlie Horsepower, that's you! Beautiful! And can you tell me who the most valuable jammer was?
Number 182.
Number 182, Harry Lindbergh! Please stick around for a picture. Thank you all once again for coming out. We will see you right back here, April 27th. Feel free to stick around and help us pull this floor up. We always love a volunteer. We'll see you at the Bulldog Saloon if you're over 21. Thank you and good night.